Hello everyone, my name is Lamonia Fotinos, and my persuasive speech is on equestrianism. So 1,200 pounds of muscle is pure power, and a girl who weighs $140 can handle it. All the boys on the football team don't think equestrians are true athletes, or that riding a horse is actually a workout or a sport. I dare to try riding a horse for an hour in a true training lesson, not just for leisure. I am going to do my best to give you the most reliable and accurate information about equestrianism. I hope we can begin with the history of equestrianism and when it's recognized in the Olympics. Just so you're aware, these are not all the sports. There are many, many more equestrian sports, and not all of them are recognized by the Olympics. So a bit of history from the Olympic.org. Equestrian events were first included in modern Olympic Games in the 1900s. By 1912, all three Olympic disciplines, still seen today, were part of the Games. The forms of competition were recognized worldwide as a part of equestrian events at the Olympics. Dressage is the first one, and involves progressive training of the horse to a high level of impulsion, collection, and obedience. So the second event is show jumping. So it's a timed event judged on the ability of a horse and rider to jump over a series of obstacles in any given order, and with the fewest refusals or knockdowns of portions of the obstacles. So the final sport recognized in the Olympics currently, and back then in 1900s, eventing, and that's also called the horse trials, the 3-day event, and puts together obedience of dressage with the athletic ability of show jumping. So according to classical dressage, the rider has to use muscles in the arms, legs, and in the back. We have to use abdominals, obliques, and the quadriceps. So this is because when we're riding, I'll just use dressage for an example because I ride that most often, so it's very easy for me to explain to you muscle memory for that. When asking for collection, I'll be using my lower limbs. So thighs, quadriceps, inner thighs, the hip flexors, my calves. We ask in a way where it's an impulsion for forward. So the cue is to go forward. So you're squeezing not with your heel into their sides, because that's not fair. That's just annoying and irritating to the horse, and all it's going to do is destroy your bond with your animal. So we ask with our calves and the inside of our ankle so that it's like a fair, even pressure that just means to move forward. So think about you hugging something with your legs, like when you were little and on the monkey bars or on a rope and you had to climb upwards. Well, it's pretty much the same velocity of power, just controlled differently, more in a cupping, like U shape. So you have to hug around your animal, keep your balance, sink your ankles down into the ground. After you sink your ankles into the ground and you hug your animal with your legs, you're asking them to move forward. Now you have to use your upper body to make sure that they don't fall on their front end. So that means they can't be heavy on their front end, which means that you have to support them. So your balance has to be up, your posture has to be open. So your rib cage has to be open, and that means that your shoulders are going to be back, your arms are going to be lined up with your hips. I mean with using your line of connection, which would be your elbow to hand to rein to bit. You need to make sure that your hands are quiet and sturdy, and when you're asking for things, not to rip on their face. So what I mean is having really loud hands, and loud hands means your hands are constantly moving, they're constantly jerking the horse in the face. That doesn't help. So you actually need to build soft flexibility in your arms so that when you communicate with your animal, your hands are actually moving with him as he's moving, but strong enough where your hands can give him aids with your reins. So going to the Pro Riders workout from livestrong.com, a focus is on the muscle building strength, stamina, and endurance, which includes exercises like yoga and running. The legs and core are crucial for any rider to control their horse, especially with jockeys and Olympic competitors. They partake in daily aerobic exercises like swimming, running, jogging, and biking. And during racing season, professional jockey Martin Lane rides his bike at least 150 miles per week. So again, I mentioned balance and flexibility and how crucial they are. They are extremely important. Yoga, Pilates, sit-ups, planks, lunges, and squats are part of the workout for the rider's balance and flexibility. The good thing about this is for people who can't ride every day, can actually practice on the ground. And on the ground means off the horse. So some exercises replicate the stance of a jockey on a horse, like squats. Yoga moves like the cat and the cow work core muscles of the abdomen and the lower back. And the abdomen and lower back aid in balancing the rider properly as to effectively engage the horse during movement. So let's not forget that on average, the professionals ride 6 to 10 horses a day in training rides. Again, I say training rides, not leisure rides. So it's not a relaxed trail ride on a horse, it's work. So in conclusion, now you have a bit of history and some new information. I hope you can see now that equestrians are true athletes when titled as a professional. Remember that equestrian sports are in the Olympics and what kind of hard work riders have to put in to stay in shape for competition. I'd like to leave you off with something new you should try. If you still think that riding is easy, go take a lesson with a well-rated professional. Remember, you'll be starting with the basics, and even then your muscles will be sore because you'll be using them in new ways. And I hope you have a good day and hopefully a great ride.